Hey everyone, I want to say a huge thank you for joining us tonight, albeit virtually, for this incredible celebration of changemakers. I'm Tommy McFly, co-founder of the Real.Fun.DC independent broadcast channel. We strive to curate diverse and dynamic voices to bring interesting perspectives from all around the Beltway together with some music and fun as well on Alexa, Google Home, and our Real.Fun.DC app. I'm the co-host of the Tommy and Kelly Show, and for years have been an incredibly proud supporter, and also I'm constantly amazed at the work of the Catalogue for Philanthropy. So thank you for having me here tonight, and thank you for joining us. Although we're not together, I still feel like we're having that together time. You can almost feel the connection of our DC philanthropic community, even through your screens, whichever screen you're watching on. So thank you for spending some time with us. You're gonna hear some great stories tonight of incredible nonprofits that are helping out our region in their own incredible ways. Plus stories of resilience, of how these nonprofits have kept going and kept their mission moving and kept serving their constituents throughout this incredibly weird year. I think weird is probably the best way to describe said year. Some stories of humor, some stories of emotion. It's all gonna be in a roller coaster of good vibes and joy tonight as we're celebrating the DC philanthropic world and the work the Catalogue for Philanthropy does. Maybe you'll hear a story tonight. Maybe you'll be introduced to a nonprofit that you want to get more involved with and you want to help. Maybe one of your favorites will be spotlighted in a way that you can say, yeah, I love that I'm part of that. Or you can also, and I would encourage you when it comes to stories, to think about your own story tonight. How are you telling your story? What does your story look like to others as you're impacting your family and your community, your neighborhood, and those around you? What story are you telling? There's a lot to think about tonight, and there's a lot to be thankful for the work of the Catalogue for Philanthropy and the incredible nonprofits they support. So let's get started with a short video montage of some of the organizations who are striving every single day to make change all around the Beltway.
2020 has been a year marked by the unexpected. From worrying about our own health and the health of our families, to unemployment and job insecurity, to a renewed focus on the need for racial justice and equity, our community is facing a lot. Amidst all of these challenges, to keep each other safe, we have been asked to distance and isolate.
And while 2020 has led to more physical distance between us, more missed celebrations and gatherings, it hasn't led to less community.
People from across our region have stepped up in 2020, from individuals, local nonprofits, to small businesses. We've all come together in new ways to support one another during these unprecedented times.
From the simple act of calling and checking in on each other to pivoting in an organization's entire work to meet the needs of their clients, we have seen countless stories of generosity, creativity, and resiliency.
Tonight is a night to celebrate these stories, to recognize just a few of those who are working, fighting, and steadfastly showing up for our community. It isn't just a night to recognize them, though. It's a night to think about how we can all strengthen the ties that bind our community.
So we hope tonight can be a night that inspires, a night that teaches, a night that brings us together. But most of all, we hope tonight is a beginning of all of us finding and discovering new ways to engage with each other, new opportunities to lift up our neighbors, and a chance to do so with a renewed sense of urgency and possibility.
Because together is how we move forward.
My name is Matt Gayer, and I serve as one of the co-executive directors here at the Catalogue for Philanthropy. And thank you all so much for joining us this evening. As Tommy already mentioned, as many of our nonprofit leaders just said, it's going to take all of us to come out of this crisis, to move forward, and to really make a difference in the place we call home. We're going to hear a lot of inspiring stories tonight, a lot of conversations, and also hopefully some new ideas for how we can engage locally. Just a couple of minutes, our 2020 Community Changemaker Awardee panel is going to get started. It's going to feature 3 amazing panelists, and I'll introduce them in just a moment. After that, we'll do 2 rounds of community conversations that you'll hear more about soon. But we'll give you a real chance to learn what's really happening in our community, and most importantly, how you can get involved. Then finally, we'll come back together at the end very quickly, just talk about some concrete ways we we can engage in the community moving forward and hopefully act on some of the inspiring stories that we hear tonight. I want to pause for a moment just to say thank you to our generous sponsors and supporters who made this evening possible, to the amazing nonprofits and speakers we have lined up for taking the time to share with us this evening, and the Catalogue team and staff for doing a great job of putting this event together. So with that, without further ado, I'll go ahead and introduce our 2020 Community Changemaker awardees. The conversation you're about to hear is being moderated by Amira El-Ghali. Amira is the founder of Manifesta, a local consulting firm focused on workplace culture. I'll let her go ahead and kick off the conversation and introduce our panelists a bit. But congratulations to Stephen, to Rachel, to Kelly for the amazing work they do, and looking forward to hearing the conversation with them in just a moment. I'll turn it over to you, Amira.